Strap on your water wings and nose clips, because it's time for our annual Waterpalooza. We'll see a boy mow and water the lawn. Mother Nature means business. Some slap-happy siblings. And a new kind of skate fish. So get yourself a good seat and get ready to sink into the funniest pets and people, Waterpalooza. It's the show that will have you sit, stay, laugh, and beg for more. Welcome to Funniest Pets and People. Are those tears from laughter? It's the wet look. These dogs are minding their own business when suddenly it's a sneak sprinkler attack. And no worries, the dogs band together and fight back. And this battle royale will wage on until the doggy warriors have exhausted their final ounce of courage, strength, and energy. Or someone shuts off the water valve. It's funny how babies think slapping a wet bath rag on someone is hysterical. Okay, I guess it's not just babies who think it's hysterical, but the little brother isn't too happy. Seems to make him feel like the man. Well, a man who's about to get his bottom talcumed and diapered before night-night. It's a race against the clock to find out who will win and who will be eliminated on Survivor Bird Bath. Watch the tempers flare and the feathers fly when Bobo betrays his team to get a good spot. All right after Squeal or No Squeal. You know what this means? Tomorrow, Sarah's gonna wind up having a bad flea day. But the dog is having fun, and he figures, hey, at least this time no one can give him a hassle for shedding. Although, with all that dog fur in your hair, you might want to explain what happened to your stylist so she doesn't think you're shedding. Ted and Al figured out a really lazy way to fish. Just stand around in the right spot and wait for him to come to you. Yeah, this is Mother Nature's way of saying, I, the woman. And if you think she's kidding, you talk to the surfer dude who tried to ride this wave and landed in a wheat field in Kansas. He was only 4 years old, but Ronald was determined to make a big splash in soccer. Well, it's a tough spill, and he's drenched. But the good news is, when he gets home, he won't have to hit the showers. Hey, I want to scratch myself and fetch a stick. And a Frisbee. Frisbee made of hamburger and I'm thinking, I like bacon. How sleepy is a dog when he actually falls asleep in the middle of a bath? I'm a good dog. Let's go for a walk. Fire hydrants everywhere. Couch made of hot dogs. All for me. And the proud winner of this year's annual Ferret Indoor Swimming Competition, Freddie Ferret. Don't tell him he was the only swimmer. He may not look like he knows what he's doing, but from the sky, the lawn spells, Jake loves candy. Actually, the dad taught his son everything the boy knows. But unfortunately, not everything the dad knows. Like how to use the brake. Put on those floaties and smile. It's water sports. These folks have a clever fishing method. They put an ad on E-Fish Harmony, and now that trout thinks he's coming aboard for a blind date. And there's no point in throwing him back, because if he wanted a date bad enough to jump on a boat, you know he'll be back again tomorrow. This guy's got his dog into fishing, and now the dog is getting his owner into swimming. But he should have figured this was going to happen when he cast his line, because worms on a hook look just like beef jerky. Well, to a dog. See if you can guess which water skier decided to wear her lead ankle bracelet today. The really unfortunate part of this is they were only 2 minutes from turning in the boat and avoiding another hour's rental fee. Yes. These guys couldn't decide whether to spend their vacation biking, skating, or swimming, so they decided to do all three. After taking the plunge in that icy water, they decided to go for 2 more activities: shivering and sitting in front of the fire. This may look like a pet trick, but it was the only way to keep the dog from eating all the liver treats on the boat. Actually, now that he's on his own raft, he's quite happy. He figures it means he ranks as captain, and now the search is on for the great white catfish. In water skiing school, they'll teach you how to get up on skis, jump, and ski on one ski. But maybe what they should really teach you is how to stop. Coming up, the ice cabandades. And the pooch gets himself in a real lather. When we return to Funniest Pets and People. Welcome back to the Funniest Pets and People Waterpalooza. Get ready to crack up, it's frozen water. So what if Jojo couldn't get the lodge to rent a dog's skis? He was gonna go skiing anyway. Whee! Now, the only problem? Getting them to serve him a hot toddy. This is a little rehearsal for that new Broadway play, The Ice Dog Runneth. And the dog is glad he got the part, but he hopes it's not too long a run. Or it could turn into long day's journey into night. This guy talked his sisters into visiting the local ice sculpture display to bring his family closer together. Mission accomplished. Bill is trying his first jump, and his friend Chuck is there to see that it doesn't turn out so well. But Chuck really shouldn't be laughing at Billy, because it was Chuck's car keys that just fell out of Billy's pocket. Well, there are one of two explanations for what's going on here. Either A, the dog figures,
if I eat all the snowflakes, then my master won't have to shovel the walkway.
Or B, dogs will eat anything. And we're going with dogs will eat anything. This woman wants to go out for a nice casual stroll, but her husband is shooting a video and is hoping for some exciting action.
Go towards the deck a little more.
So whose judgment about walking out into the middle of the icy lake should you trust? If you're her, of course you should trust yourself. But if you're us, at the show here, you should trust the hubby. because this is one grade A funny clip. One night only at the Coliseum, the all-children skating troupe presents Classic Falls on Ice. Who can forget the Winter Games slide and stumble of 1982 that cost the gold? Or the slip on a shoelace that ended the Ottawa exhibition of 2004? All the unforgettable flops and classic falls on ice. One night only. Don't let this chance slip through your fingers. Here comes Roger, and he's off to a good start. But the next time he goes rollerblading, he's going to make sure to take 3 things: a lesson on how to stop, a map, and a change of dry clothes. If that duck is rubber, it must be bath time. This robin is taking a nice dip in what he thinks is a bird bath. Unfortunately, this pug thinks it's a dog dish.
It's a bird bath!
It's a dog dish.
Bird bath, bird bath, bird bath, bird bath!
Dog dish. Fine, I'll just drink from the toilet.
Bird bath!
This mommy is on her knees about to wash her baby in the tub when she suddenly realizes she can't find the bar of soap. Where is it? Where is that slippery bar of soap? Yep, under her knee. But it's a good thing she slipped, because she got even closer and realized someone isn't washing behind their ears. Nope, don't adjust your set. This isn't footage of a dog that loves baths. It's a dog that accidentally ate cat food from the wrong bowl. And now he wants to wash his mouth out pronto. Bring on the agua. And is there any way you can turn it up, please? Coco wanted a new hairstyle for a fair price, but in hindsight, she should have been suspicious of that ad in the classifieds. Wanted, dog for free haircut. Must love shampoo, incredibly long baths, and the sound of side-splitting laughter. Poor Coco. It seems kind of bizarre, but actually what's happening here is pretty simple. The dog knows when he growls at a squirrel, it takes off. So Roger figures go after the water, and it's goodbye baths. It doesn't work that way, Roger. Clarabelle learned this trick from a raccoon she once knew. The one big difference between the raccoon and Clarabelle? Well, the raccoon washed stuff so he could eat it. But Clarabelle is washing it just to cover it in dog spit all over again. Coming up, Fido finds a new way to floss. And a fish who loves the waves. When we return to Funniest Pets and People. Welcome back to the Funniest Pets and People, Waterpalooza. Put on that bathing cap, it's water play.
Well, sure, it took a while to find, but no dog goes away unhappy from Hank's hole-in-the-wall mud baths. Yup, Hank's hole-in-the-wall mud baths is the perfect place for your dog to relax and unwind from the constant stress of belly scratches, free food, and sleeping. And our mud is guaranteed to stick. So, even after the long trek home, you'll still be dirty enough to track mud prints across the kitchen. Spray angle, check. Water volume, check.
This is one doggy who takes his job as sprinkler inspector very seriously.
Droplet size, good, good. Okay, now let's smack her around a bit, see if she can handle normal wear and tear. Check. Now water pressure. Check.
Apparently, this sprinkler has officially passed the inspection and is working perfectly, ready to run through. Bluto the dog simply cannot understand how everybody, birds, cats, even houseflies, always find his precious water bowl. Well, here's a 2-word hint, Bluto. Bright red. Yep, he's had it. After discovering every creature on Earth drinking from his bowl, he is determined that nobody gets another drop of water from it. Including Bluto. They say the best workers love their work, and nowhere is that truer than with Ace All-Dog Plumbers. You drop in your wedding ring? You got a stuffed-up pipe? Our doggy plumbers won't send a snake down the drain. They'll plunge in the whole hog, right up to the snout. That way they can really see the problem. And they're fast, because they don't even have to take water breaks. They just drink as they work. Ace All-Dog Plumbers. We love our work. Clyde is in some kind of sprinkler heaven. Actually, after a lifetime of chasing fountains and sprinklers, Clyde needs to take a minute to appreciate this generous bounty and all that the universe has brought to him. Now, back to attacking that fountain.
And now, the Dog Network presents French Cuisine with Eloise the Dog.
Hello, I am your host, Eloise, and today we prepare the classic coq au vin. But first, the gravy. Okay, a little more, a little more, little more, little more, little more, little more, little more, little more.
And that's all the time we have this week for French Cuisine with Eloise the Dog.
Little more, little more, little more, little more, little more. Oh, c'est magnifique!
Brownie got caught drinking out of the dog's bowl and was forbidden to do so again. But his pal Whitey wasn't forbidden. Oh yeah, Brownie loves beating the system. Now, this doesn't look like a lot of fun, but Bucky heard about that Dutch kid that saved Holland and he stuck his finger in the dike and won a medal and all that stuff. Well, you know, Bucky wouldn't mind a medal. Yeah, a big one. With a ribbon at an awards ceremony with pretty girl dogs watching. Oh, yeah, that's the ticket. However, he'd also be willing to save the world for a slice of bacon. Josh loves playing in the surf, and he figures if his buddy Mikey won't go to the water, then he'll bring the water to Mikey. But after repeated attempts to share the sea's fun with his friend, he's getting nowhere. So he decides if Mikey wants to stay in the dark, let him. No one wants dry and tame, so these are wet and wild.
Oh yeah, in your grill, sucker!
Ladies and gentlemen, the world's only trash-talking poodle.
Eat beach ball! Can't touch this! Booyah! Bring it on! Bring it! That's what I'm talking about! Oh yeah! Who the man? I the man!
She wants to step onto the mat. Oh, for heaven's sake.
This pooch watched one too many episodes of Baywatch and thinks this woman is in trouble and needs some mouth to snout. Whoops, now the whole raft is sinking. See, it's all fun and games until someone gets their tail caught in the pool drain.
That's about 7 feet of water there.
Well, I'm no golf official, but I would definitely call this a mulligan. Now, if the pooch could only carry your clubs and conveniently look away when you're trying to get out of the rough, he would make the perfect caddy. Now, here's an amazing fish that can do Morse code with his tail. This is fun, but you can put me back now.
Go ahead.
Wait.
Okay, now we've done take 2. Back in the water anytime would be nice. Coming up, something fishy this way comes. When we return to Funniest Pets and People. Welcome back to the Funniest Pets and People Waterpalooza. For those who wonder what the fish are talking about, I dare you to swim right through them while they're standing there.
I do it.
Sure, I double dare you.
You're talking to one crazy fish. Put your money where your gills are.
50 clams says you won't do it.
Stand back and watch a daredevil at work. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo! Yeehaw! Eat my tail, humans!
See you next time